Therefore, again, welcome to our SVC webinar. Yeah. Okay, what would you like to show you here? You see here it's 9.x. Therefore, we do a little reminder or review of 9.0 function or 9.0 SR1 function. Then also we have divided it into building management or SVC core, then into some security parts, what we have added here, and that also is related to some core functions and to major core function as well. And then we will go to the energy management and analytics part. At the end, there's an overview about our solution, especially vision services, and I would like to give you an intro to some really interesting projects. So that's a little bit the review of 9.1, currently in the field 9.0, currently in the field 9.0 SR1. And there were a lot of core functionality improvements and also new functions. The components inspector I will show in live, and maybe you remember then the trigger functionality as well. That means you are able to trigger alarm inhibitions, alarm acknowledge, and also the scenario start stop as a trigger calculated with an object. There are some enhancement to the object information board. Therefore, you see here the OEB improvement, and we do have a priority array definition in the SVC system setting right now in 9.0 SR1. We will go here into more detail because we completely reworked that function in 9.1. By the way, 9.1 we did release end of last month. That means on 30th of July. Yeah. And this what was the request? So a lot of you was these different email addresses defined by group. That means based on those groups, you are able to send emails to users. So if we are then, before we are going to 9.1, let me remind you a little bit. Let's go to SAUTER Vision Center, some functions. And okay, I hope you all see now as SVC. If we are talking about a components inspector, I guess you're aware of our demo. We are going, for example, here to our air handling unit. And what is a components inspector? Components inspector, or for example, if you have a real large plant picture, maybe with several air handling units or a lot of pumps, you are able to just tag certain parts here, and all what you have tagged here, you see all the objects in a table. And then you have obviously here also the related OEB, and you could use it here as well. And to show you here what was also new here, you are able to change set points, you are able to write. And if, for example, if you do that in some charts where you would like to have historical data, and maybe you have forgotten that in a basic setup to set certain objects in historical data mode, you are able to enable it here directly as well. And I guess here about all these OEB you are aware of. That are these minor improvements what we have done there. And regarding the components inspector here, typically, for example, if you would like then to have a selection of the complete picture, for example, with wheel, you are able to do Control C, and here you have all the objects which are in that picture. And even if you not have marked it, and if you then would like to filter regarding the wheel, for example, what I just have marked, just copy paste, and then having all the wheels here. That is kind of functionality, I guess, which is quite useful. We call it components inspector. It's really came from the German team and some customers there who have used that in the past in another software package. Good. That was here regarding the components inspector. Group management. I've not used that, but showed that yet. But I guess you are aware we had a limitation in the past of these 50 groups. Therefore, here now it's unlimited, and that helps a lot in the real large scale projects. Would you like to add?
Yeah, and we take also this opportunity that we have to increase to unlimited number of groups to redesign completely the user management. We have, as you may know, 3 parts for that. We have the user part, the roles part, and the group part. So you will see if it's your first time with the version 9, we have a complete new design where we try to set the most important parameter from the groups here in the main picture, so you are able to sort very easily, to find very easily what you are looking for, managing the users. So we have these faceted search that allow you also to search very quickly the information. Here we do not have that much, but if we go to the user, we use exactly the same philosophy. We have much more information in the main table. You can see that we also are able to filter here. If I'm looking for, let's say, authentication only internal, we have to have all the users that have internal connection. Okay, I said contact to all, delete. We also have here the faceted search that allow me, for example, to look for email that are not empty. So I know exactly which user has an email address. And we do that also for the roles with new improvements inside the way to display the roles to make it easier for you to looking for some particular role access or stuff like that. So
and
here, yeah.
And here you also have seen that is part of the refactoring that we have. Can you open it again? That we have now this management on the left side. What you have
faceted.
No, not faceted.
When we open, sorry. All. Okay, and if I open.
Otherwise, open it again.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, and here you see on the left side, that means related to the refactoring, what we are doing in parallel in the background. We change a little bit these menus that you have, not the tabs on the horizontal way, you have on the left these the menu and navigation organized.
Okay, just a small reminder. And as Frank said, remember, no, we have unlimited number of groups.
Okay, good. Now let's go to 9.1, which we released last month, and there were a bunch of initiatives triggered by you in the field, also then internally, and we pushed into those versions a few more things what were planned. But that's, I guess that's usual, and I'm pretty sure you will love that here as well. We have a minor dashboard design improvement. And here we will go a little bit more in detail, and then you will see it's really an improvement. And we will spend a little bit more time right now than for the priority array definition. Also, there is an image enhancement. Those pictures, images, what you are creating in case vision with vision index 13, you are able to create these blinking alarm icons, for example, and lines. Maybe some of you have wondered that in earlier case vision version there is a vision index 9.1, even we have not released 9.1 as we see at that case. But now, yeah, it's clear here you could use it for those functions. In addition, I talked about security, and you see here new online help. That was triggered by a security issue because the online help was quite old, and there was old versions included. Therefore, we take this chance to completely renew the online help, and we will show that here as well. And if we are going to, in 9.0, what I have not mentioned, the predicted objects, and then doing predictions in charts, we were not able to define presets for the future. And therefore now we have integrated customized time ranges. That means you are able to define presets based also on a time frame, which, for example, goes into the future as well. And that we will explain here as well. Certain date time format, which is quite important for import, export, for example, or data values. And then we will give you an update which operating systems we do support. So now let's go to the dashboard design. What was the major goal? And to those who are working with that, you see here, there is this plus. And those also, there were a lot of, that is wasting space, and we would like to organize it a little bit different. And there's also, hey, you have a fixed layout, and could we do please a little bit more flexible, not just 3 of these widget spaces with the same size. And therefore we added those as well. And in addition, what we then put in here was an edit mode, which you know from older version, and a view mode. And within the view mode, all these plus and this wasted space will disappear. To show you that in detail, are you able to check? Okay, yeah. To show you that in detail, let's go to the dashboards here. Was it? Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
You see it here, and Alex will explain you the functionality.
Okay, so the first thing that you see when you work with a new dashboard is that this yellow part with the plus sign disappears. So we really maximize the space that we have to display, and the more important part means the information from inside the widget. So here we have no wasted space. We still have the usual possibility to share it, to put it on full screen and so on. But what is new here is a way to switch from the edit mode to the view mode. So if you click here, you see we have again the zone with the plus here where we can add some widget. Here there is no changes. It's something that you know, we can add a widget, configure this widget using the right data. And when we finished with the edit mode, we save, and of course, we go to the view mode again. Okay, so here, this possibility to switch very simply from the edit mode to the view mode. We also have here a bit more possibility, flexibility to add these new way to split the full space, the layout. As you see here, we have 1/4, 2/4, 1/4 again. Here it's 1/3 and 2/3 of the space. And these are available here, where you just have to select. Let's say that we'll add 1 on the bottom. I have per default the full. Here you see it. And if you decide to have again something like that, you just click and you have here this new layout that allow you, in this example, to have 4 widgets, or 4 columns of widgets. Okay, so again, here we have this flexibility to have something more to focus, to use more place in this layout, to have one major part or one small part, and so on. Here you have much more flexibility to create the dashboard that match with your customer expectation. Okay. Of course, in the usage of a public dashboard, default document and stuff like that, we make no change. That works as it works before in the 9 and 8
the previous versions.
In the previous versions.
Yeah. And now let's come to this completely reworked priority array icons. You see here, I guess you see if you have created certain pictures in the engineering, if you see in certain, for example, in the manual operation mode list, for example, here on that side, you have certain pictures. The use case here is if we are in large scale project, we have a lot of, let's say, different vendors. That means different vendors. Even there is a BACnet standard with the priority standards, maybe have different symbols, and you would like to add maybe other symbols, and different vendors has, for example, the meaning of those on different numbers of the priority array. That means we are typically having a hand on priority 8, maybe some others having it on different numbers, and to have the same look and feel with the symbols in a picture for the end user, even behind there is a Vago or a Johnson Honeywell or a Siemens or whatever. That is managed then by these new functions to organize the priority array icons. Here I will hand over to Alex. Alex again to show that.
Okay, so in a typical project, we have implemented 3 levels of possibility to allow you to set or to customize this set of icons with the real meaning that they have in a device. So the very first one, of course, is the setting that we have on the project level. Okay, setting on the project level, and this one also allow you, that's why I show you in detail this one, allow you to copy or to download the initial file. So if you are going here, we have priority array, which is the default one. Per default, it's called customer priority array PNG. If you want to customize that one, you just have to click here and you will download the file, because this file has a format. As we have seen in the presentation, we have the first line to have the localization or the position of the customized icon in this file, and the size here, we open one, thanks Frank, you see, we have this first line with 1 to 3 to 16, and these one are the reference that you have to use. And on the second line, you will have, or you are able to customize the symbol that you want to use. So here in this example, I just change a bit the colors, make it fancy. But if you have something more dedicated to one vendor or even to one device, because we go down to the device level, you are able to change. For example, here in this example, I set the manual mode with the hand on priority 9. So here you're already able to customize this file to match with the philosophy or the principle that is applied by the vendor or by the device. Okay, if we have a look here, because we have a new menu that you want to ready to customize it per vendor, because you have Siemens device, you have Honeywell device, and so on. You can go through the vendor menu. Here I like to select Siemens because Siemens has really a lot of vendor ID. Siemens has 4 vendor ID, and here you are able to select one particular set of icon per Siemens vendor ID. Of course, if you have also some just one device or that need some special treatment, you will be able, using the device menu, to set also a new priority array. As you see, this menu is the same for all. We can use an existing one in the project. So here I have several, you see, that so I can very easily change to say I want to have the SAUTER one. If you have no need to customize this icon, you can inherit from the higher level. So for the vendor, you will inherit from the project setting. If you want something, if you want to go down to the device level, you are able to inherit from, of course, from the vendor icon set. Per default, of course, when you create a new project, you don't have to do this job if there is no need, because the default project icon will be set. And here, usual, you want to select, you have to turn on your disk or where you have put your new icon set, and just drag and drop the information. And as you see, when you go over with the mouse, you see the current value or the current displaying or showing from your icons. Okay, and these icons are used everywhere. We have open here, for example, the status information or the operational manual operation settings, and you see these are applied because of course it's a SAUTER device. I have only SAUTER device to show, so it's displayed here. If you have some doubt, it's also use the image, for example. We can just open an image, and you will see these icons are also used inside image. Okay, let's just open one that we have here. Just air unit handling. If you see here, for example, this object is in manual mode, and we use really the icon for the manual mode. Of course, if you are if the scheduler is running, or if you have another priority that it can be a life safety priority in 1 or 2, this will be applied in the picture. So we really take care that these set of icons are used everywhere in SVC, in the different view settings. If you open, for example, also the expert view of an object, you will see also these icons.
Good, and that what we have now explained, or Alex explained in live, we have it all here as a summary. And he also mentioned the three levels here. It's by system, it's by vendor, and even to a device itself. Now we are coming to the new vision index, what I have mentioned, available with Case Vision 5.2 SR4. Therefore, I mentioned it was earlier available in Case Vision than in SVC. Currently, obviously, we are on 5.2 SR5 patch 1 with Case Vision. Here you see we have the possibility, that was a requirement from your side as well, that those alarms could be blinking, and that has to be defined then in case vision. There are also
Some
lines what could be then used in the engineering. And what you see here, yeah, that is the vision index you need to select. So now I talked about the new online help. And this one, you see how it's organized, but I guess it's much more impressive if you show that in live. And talking about the online help itself, you all know here it's here. We are going to the help center or directly to the view help, and it will open, and you see it appears completely different. And we could go directly in here. We have a search here, and obviously we are able to switch the language here as well. I went here to, let me check this one here. So I went here to a certain document, analytics and energy management. And here you see that we do have a navigation on the left side. We easily able to click here and having then those main information pages, what you know from the PDF, but here in the online help as well. And now we automatically having these pictures larger that you are able to see. In some old installations, it was pretty let's say, yeah, pretty small, and you had to click on it like this one. I guess that is now no longer necessary. And if you have a more complex document, online help here with maybe chapters having 3.2 and then sub-chapters as well, you have a different an additional navigation on the right side. Obviously, again, searching here is always available as well. And at the end here, you could go directly, yeah, to the next, for example, like this one here. Also, what we mentioned, if we see this one here, old technology had some security issues, let's say in that way. Therefore, yeah, the technology behind was updated to the latest version. And here it's thanks to internal resources, particular Ludovic here, who has done that that complete update of the online help. Good. Next step was customer preset ranges. I guess pretty clear what we mean. Therefore, I would like to show you that in live directly. And you remember that, let's go to Duke. No, that was online help. Duke. Yeah. For example, here, let's go to this function in 9. Then you have it a little bit larger. If we go, for example, now to the function in 9.0, that is, for example, here prediction. And if we have prediction and if we set up those things, we always have here time ranges, and we have here the presets. The presets what we had here, you see they are still available, no changes to the old presets. That's the last 24 hours, this week, this year, etc., etc. But you see here some additional, let's say, customized presets, what we have have defined. And for example, what we are using here is, for example, for these daily forecasts over the next 7 days and updating every day for a typical photovoltaic plant, that we are able to use these 7 days before and 7 days after. The definition obviously was done by ourselves, and it's really up to you if you're doing that in English or in French or in German. You will put in the name for the presets. Preset definition.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Preset definition is done in the settings, and you see here custom preset ranges, and here simply with new you are able to define, and you see that for example the defined ranges, the customized, could be deleted. Obviously the basic preset can't be deleted.
Yeah, they cannot. And one additional point here, maybe you just Frank mentioned that we use these 7 day before, 7 day afters. This one is used, so you have here the column tag usage, and you see it's yes, and therefore you are not able to delay that.
Yeah, that you not kill a setting and your chart is then completely crappy. Yeah.
You also see that the text that you will enter, if we create a new one, this one is a free text. So you have to set it in your language. The name of the preset is not translated. Okay, so here you can choose a name, and here you have the same setting that you know from the customized time range that you have in all the document. So you can use right now for the future only. You can select, for example, let's say not 7 days but 8 days. From 8 days in the future, no, maybe I'm wrong here. I set minus 8 days, and you see here when it starts, so you have no doubt on what you are selecting right now. You can start it, round it, and so. But the definition, these definition are something that that you know, because they are existing in the chart, in all documents that you have a time selector. So it's not something new, but it's something that you can save and reuse in all the modules that use the time selector.
Yeah, and quite important here, what Alex has explained, is that we could do this relative setting and not only the fixed setting. Let's go to
okay.
So the next part is
Alex,
please
continue. Here maybe I just explain. We have in the 4 or 5 last year a lot of requirement that the timestamp or the time format, date time format that we use. Yes, I need that one because the customer use the three first letter of the month to tag his input and so on and so on. So we add a few, but we decide that it will be much more easier if we are able to customize this time format. So we'll show you. You are able to set your own time format to match with the file that you have to import or to export. So this customer time and date format will be applied to file object, a meter object, if you are making an export rule, or if you are importing manually some value for a meter or from another object. We use the Microsoft format that you can find on internet. It's also on the product information. So the letter and also the cast of this letter are very important, because, as I said, an example, MM will be the number of the month, so 08 for August, but in low case will give you the minutes. So make sure that when you're creating those format, that you choose the right cast of the that match with what you are expecting, and know if we maybe
you see it, see it here. But
Yeah.
the main use case, a lot of you have done some scripts, has done then, oh, I have a CSV file here, I need to change now to certain formats which are available in an SVC. That means here you are completely flexible to define it in SVC, really depending on the formats you are getting from the fields or from other applications.
And you will show?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Okay.
I guess that's otherwise we will run out of
of
time.
time.
We have a lot of things. Therefore, I guess that it's quite clear. And yeah, you need to know, hey, it's much more flexible right now, especially if you import from other applications where CSV files will be provided. What I would like to remind here as well, please keep in mind that for the large-scale project, we had done these engineering projects with using several single case vision project, what could be used in one SVC. And therefore, as kind of reminder, hey, yeah, please consider if you set up a large-scale project, please separate the single parts of those projects. Maybe for a main project, and then having certain buildings or certain areas as a project as well. Also, then consider who is in charge for that, and maybe who is doing the engineering, because that's that's done a lot easier for project engineering and for updating as well. So now let's come to a few security things. That is this reminder, and I guess the technical guys of us are really, let's say, would not that love these new functions, in particular with passwords, etc., and also phrases as well. But that is really mandatory to have those parts into SVC. That was part of the security initiative within SVC 9.9.0. Also, obviously, forcing the multi-factor authentication, LDAP, etc., etc. What I would like to mention here is BACnet SC Software Hub. There is a new version since 1 month, and we are in a certification phase for revision 25 for that Software Hub. That means the Software Hub is completely defined. We could advertise it with we are certified BACnet revision 25, and the documents will be created right now in those big BACnet, big EUs.
And it will be published on the website from BACnet.
Yeah, and then will be shown on the BACnet website, right? So, and what is new in 9.1? A lot of you have installed SVC. SVC with HTTPS was then able to have maybe a short a list script. Okay, I have to do it in an IIS. I have to get the certificate from the customer, or maybe I will create some by myself and then put it into the IIS itself. Now we have, therefore we say HTTPS as default. Now we have integrated that in our setup routine for SVC. There is a section then, hey, we are able to, would you like to use HTTPS? We discussed internally not to make it as default, because if then maybe in a setup routine you're doing click, 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 and at the end you have no certificate available, it's not that good. That means please be aware if you're doing that. A certificate must be available. Maybe you will get it from your customer where you will install it, or you you will organize it internally. But if you switch that on, I will do the HTTPS, then please have a certificate available. And then it's done with the installation. Good. That was the core part. And what we would like to remind here is we are supporting Windows 11, no longer Windows 10. We are supporting now Server 22 and 25, but we skip 2019. Therefore, for new projects, please only use those.
Just maybe in addition, for MS SQL, there is no change. We still support MS SQL 2019 and 2022. Okay, no change on that. The next release from SQL will probably be published or is maybe already published, but we will support that in a next version from SVC. For today, so no change on SQL or
SQL as well.
SQL.
Good. Now let's go to the energy part. You see here, and I've shown already, just to have in mind, with the energy monitoring license and with the energy management and analytics license we do have in SVC, that was or is the most successful module what we ever have done. That means if we are talking certain figures in the last year, close to 40% of the SVC installations had an EMM or an REM license. Therefore, obviously, due to this investment here in new features in 9.0 as well, I would like to remind those you have seen already the predictive data, forecast calculation, display those predictions, and we had also these virtual objects for meter definition. What was also a huge improvement here, and you see it here in the picture, is now we came obviously to the situation, hey, now meters have to be exchanged due to rules, governmental rules, because need to be replaced every 5 or 7 years, depending on countries, and then you need to do the meter offset. Here, since 9.0, meter offset is completely new organized. You are able to enter these several offsets, and obviously if we have now installations with 5, 7, 8 years, maybe there has been already 2 meter exchanges executed. Therefore, this is quite important to have that in mind as well. Or as well, the dashboard print, PDF and print function. That means if you have organized those in a dashboard, then you are able to print those as well. Going to the new parts here of SAUTER Vision Center 9.1, it's one of the main parts is the regression lines or energy signature, which also comes from the field and obviously is used by energy managers. And what they have done in the past, they have used those data and calculated those in an external tool and then imported certain data as a line. But now it's completely calculated within the chart, and you see it here on the right side. There are some chart improvements what we will show. Custom time range really belongs to that obviously as well, but we have already introduced. And in the next demos, we will show this one here as well. Good, therefore, let's go to, not to this one, let's go to here. And let's go to these energy regression lines. So, and you see here that we have the basic data that is the heating and the cooling data and the outside temperature, what we do see here as well. And if putting those data in a scatter plot, that means then it's related, the energy consumption is related to the outside temperature you're seeing here. You're having certain, let's say, operation patterns here. And if we are taking a look to for example, to those here, you see here the temperature, you have here the outside, the heating and the cooling, and that is a full scatter plot with both objects. Now let's go to the side here, only using cooling. For example, here using cooling in that chart, you see that we have not done the regression line from here to here, because what is important for the regression line, that you are able to filter here as well. The typical cooling regression line, it could be here filtered, and it's typically then where you really use cooling. Therefore, the typical regression line is this one here. It starts at 16 degrees and goes to more than all values calculated based on all values above 16. And this one here typically would be a horizontal line. That means here you are able to filter those. And if we are going a little bit more in detail to that, we have here the option show the regression line, show the type you would like to display the line, and on the x-axis we are able to define the filter in that way here. And we, for example, could add those filter or could delete those filter. In that case, let's delete, but here you see what you are able to enter as a filter, and I now have deleted it, and therefore let's check what it's drawing then if I'm not using the filter. And obviously this one might be in some use cases okay, but here for cooling I would consider that as misleading. The same you see here with filtering for heating, and that is the same mechanism here as well. And you have seen it here now, right? And there were some improvements, and maybe you have recognized that on the chart as well, because here, see the y-axis, and you have 2 digits after the colon. That means here we already used the new function, for example, in the y-axis here, defining the custom precision and not having like in standard for the object, which is here the 2. And if we are saving it in that way, here you see it.
Yeah, Frank, maybe just to precise that, the default precision is taken from the unit that is defined in SVC. Yeah.
The default, yes, what Alec mentioned, obviously it's right here. I would like to show it here, if maybe you see it a little bit better in that way. There are more functions we see here. That is also here possible to define those within. Let's do it here. To define those for the object. The object itself, use custom precision here. Typically, the y-axis is based on that. That means here I put that to 0 as well, because it's in that case it's always 0, 0. Therefore, it makes no sense. It also has a little benefit. Then it's not that long, and it fits much better into those bars. And what you maybe have seen here, there is additional feature to those chart improvements displaying in bar charts. That is that you are able to use where you put the, let's say, wait, where you
maybe just to finish the previous the setting that you set for your series is also applied in the cursor.
Yeah, I will show.
Okay.
You see it here. You are now able to define, would you like to circle that by 90 degrees, or maybe by 270, or maybe having that by 305, for example, which looks then a little bit different, but then it's really up to you how you would like to handle. All what you have defined here, it's also where you would like to arrange it. It's on the bottom, in the middle, and on the top. And maybe some of you remember our last GET meeting and test days where you said, hey, it would be good if you not circle that in the middle, but you could circle that on a button as well. And that helps you to display then those things. But here you see, could be differently arranged. The circle is a little bit different, and it could be displayed on the top, on the bottom here as well. And also the tooltip here, obviously what you have defined here for the object is displaying in the tooltip as well. So now let's go to one of the next parts, but I will speed up a little bit here. There was a request, hey, if we are doing engineering, and there was automatic re-aggregation, but then maybe put it in a queue, and there were certain points, therefore these buttons were great. But we have now enabled that if you start engineering, if you have done a calculation, a formula, that you directly could push on the button for re-aggregation, and then it will be executed. That speeds up a little bit the process for engineering, in particular with formulas and then with meters. Also, and that's always the case, we are working with COV, it's BACnet, it's, yeah. But what will happen with meters, for example, if you have a heating meter and then heating is switched off completely by May, and you won't get any values, for example, and starting in September, October, maybe again. Therefore, there is a way now for especially for the meter parts to put that on polling mode as well. And that's what I like to mention here. So, and therefore that is, you will see that that we have explained in live. Here you see the additional buttons, what you have here, and that is the result. You see, if we switched to polling, for example, which obviously then gives you a much better curve. Also, what I just like to highlight here, there's a setting for aggregation job frequency, and those could be now set to from 1 to 24 hours. I guess before it was 6, or Alex,
yeah,
is it?
It was between 1 and 6, and 6 was the highest, and we saw
and on larger
experience that time to time 6 hours was not enough on a really huge project where over 100,000 objects was to be calculated, so we increased that.
Yeah, that means in particular for large scale project where you have a lot of re-aggregations and calculations. So therefore we are coming to an end. Nevertheless, I would like to give you a short update about that as well. You know, our vision services, and on vision services currently the applications we have there, they are all available with 9.0 SR1, and we will update those after we have enough experience with the current release, and as it's planned for end of this month. Nevertheless, if you are on Vision Services, you do not have to take care about all that stuff. That means it will be automatically updated, and your customers has automatically all the new functions available. And maybe here giving you an outlook, a little bit technical information here as well. But since we have the BACnet SC topology, and also I mentioned the BACnet SC software hub, we have a bunch of these nice Vision Services projects, which I will show. But nevertheless, there was also requests. Hey, how could we upgrade maybe older installations where we still have running Novanet? And that is possible as well. Good, and therefore that is the overview here about those Vision Services: building, energy, and energy and building analytics. And you see here, if I would have started that and not started with Vision Services, you see here, there are new functions based on 9.1, and all these minor improvements, obviously, what we have shown, are available here as well. And therefore, due to the fact since BACnet SC and our router and our BACnet SC software hub, it's becoming quite successful. All these projects are starting. Obviously, it takes a while, but we have now, therefore, we are really proud, and that has done by SBCI and Natana Road. We have even in Malaysia, we have Vision Services installed on the Eco Cheras Mall. In Malaysia, we have several projects here as well, and maybe you remember those three what we had in the past, which has started with file import and also with MQTT. Obviously, MQTT is still available as well, but for real building management, that is obviously BACnet SC connection, and then with the BACnet SC software hub. What I really would like to mention here, and that is a real nice project in Germany. There are now several projects in Germany, and maybe you have seen also the SAUTER in Nuremberg. There is this project here, the one with also with building. That means all that building management in HVAC in the cellar, but also the complete room automation. Therefore, it's a bunch of objects. I guess currently it seems a little bit more than these 12,000 objects. It's all via BACnet SC, but here there is also mobile building services installed, and there is customer portal interface being installed as well. That means setup and also engineering, mostly done by remote management. That means this project brings really the standard building management and room management based on Vision Services. That means SVC in the cloud, and digital services, what we do have with remote management, with customer portal, and with mobile building services, brings that completely together. So, and that is what you know from SAUTER facts in the last year. But what I would like to highlight, and therefore really focus on the one with all the digital services installed, and that it's now also in on SAUTER City Campus Nuremberg. We will have a digital services WebEx as well, end of this month, where I would like to introduce our digital services with focus on customer portal, and the new digital service remote management gateway, including LTE modem, and also the new driver for our remote management gateway, which then brings data from non-SVC sites directly into our customer portal as well. That means that is a use case is really then universal gateway because it's remote management, it's customer portal, and obviously gateway function with a lot of drivers, protocols as well. So that was the webinar. Really, thank you very much. Are there questions to that? And Alex is checking here.
I answer a few, but maybe Frank, you can add some information. Schröder asked, what are the benefits of having an energy signature? What is the purpose of the function?
Okay. The benefit of a lot of energy manager would like to compare, for example, the heating. Wait, if I go to this one, would like to, for example, let's taking such an energy signature, they typically using 1 year for the heating period, or even the heating period itself, then it's from September to March or April, or it depends on the region, to May, or it depends on the where you are on the world, maybe on the south side.
Maybe is no heating period.
Yeah, therefore that's this question. But then they would like to compare. Okay, last year it was the behavior was in that way, and the current year we are on maybe on the same line, or if the energy managers have done some improvements maybe to that, then they would like to have the lines be lower than the original one. It's kind of this baseline, but they call it an energy signature because baseline is not related, for example, here to the outside temperature. That is more typically than to the time schedule on the x-axis. Therefore, their energy manager using that in that way.
Another question is that one.
Oh yeah, good. Okay. One project with BACnet SC with any number of points possible. Yeah, that was a little change I have not mentioned in those slides as well. We started with 500 objects, and that was just as a teaser, maybe for energy, and that was 2019, 2020. Now with BACnet SC, within a project, we do not have a real limitation. Therefore, I mentioned here 20,000. Currently, we have those projects with is in a range of 12 to 13,000. What you have seen, 20,000 is definitely reasonable. No problem. If those are real larger projects, we need to consider in the background providing a dedicated virtual machine for those customers, which handled then as vision services as SAUTER, SAUTER in the cloud, or as we see in the cloud as well. We do certain development in parallel in the background to having the multiple BACnet stuck on SVC. That is currently not done, but that is one of the major parts why currently we decided to mention, hey, let's keep currently on the 20,000 objects, and otherwise for us internally it's more effort. But yeah, just based on those projects, ask for quotation, and then you remember maybe we have that statement of work, and in that case then we definitely find solutions. Okay,
that was the last one.
That was a question. Anything else? Any questions you would like to put in the chat?
No? Okay. So we will just remind you that we will publish the video, so you can also reuse it or send it to some colleagues that was not present. And of course, if you have later on some questions, just send a mail to me or to Frank. We will answer you.
Okay.
Okay.
Then thank you very, very much. It was a pleasure to have you here. And yeah, hope we will see us on the next WebEx for digital services. And have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Bye bye to all.